কালি অৰ্থাৎ ৮ জুলাই তাৰিখে গুৱাহাটীৰ শ্ৰীমন্ত শংকৰদেৱ কলাক্ষেত্ৰত উদ্বোধন হৈ যায় সৰ্বভাৰতীয় বেংক বিষয়া সন্মিলনৰ ১৩তম ত্ৰিবাৰ্ষিক সাধাৰণ পৰিষদৰ সভা। এই সভাত ভাৰতৰ বিভিন্ন বেংক বিষয়াৰ লগতে উপস্থিত থাকে সৰ্বভাৰতীয় বেংক বিষয়া সন্মিলনৰ প্ৰাক্তন সম্পাদক ডি.টি. ফেক্সো আৰু সৰ্বভাৰতীয় সম্পাদক চি.এইচ. ফেক্সটাছলম। লগতে এই সভাত অংশগ্ৰহণ কৰে IIM আহমেদাবাদৰ অধ্যাপক সাহিত্যিক টি.টি. ৰামমোহনে। এই সভাতেই মুকলি কৰা হয় সৰ্বভাৰতীয় বেংক বিষয়া সন্মিলনে প্ৰকাশ কৰা মূৰ সুতৰ হাৰ ক'ত শীৰ্ষক প্ৰতিবেদন। AIBOC আৰু চেণ্ট্ৰেল ফৰ ফাইনেন্সিয়েল একাউণ্টেবিলিটি CFAৰ যৌথভাৱে প্ৰকাশ কৰা এই প্ৰতিবেদনত ভাৰতৰ বেংকিঙৰ পৰিৱেশ আৰু ইয়াৰ চৰিত্ৰ মৌলিকভাৱে পৰিৱৰ্তন কৰি পৰিৱৰ্তনসমূহৰ সমালোচনাত্মক আভাস দিয়া হৈছে। বেংক বিষয়া সন্মিলনৰ সাধাৰণ সম্পাদক ৰূপম ৰয় আৰু CFAৰ কাৰ্যবাহী সঞ্চালক জো আথিয়ালিৰ এই প্ৰতিবেদনখন প্ৰাক্তন সম্পাদক ফেক্সোৱে এইদৰে কয়।
Will analyze the banking industry's performance and also prepare a plan for the future of the banking industry. It's not just for the rights of the officers and workers or improving the service conditions. Of course, that is one aspect. Beyond that, how this banking industry has to transform to meet the constitutional goal of reducing income inequality within this country. With that in mind, the All India Bank Officers Confederation, led by Comrade Rupam Rai, the General Secretary, who is from Guwahati, has released a book. The title of the book is Where is My Interest Rate? This is with an aim to launch a people's movement, as told by Comrade Rupam Rai himself in yesterday's meeting. This is for launching a people's movement all over the country to support the public, the customers as a whole, to get better benefits from the banking industry.
উল্লেখ্য যে বেংকসমূহে সাধাৰণ মানুহৰ কষ্ট উপাৰ্জিত ধনৰ যথসামান্য সঞ্চয় কৰি যি সুদ পায় তাৰ তুলনাত ঋণৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত বহু বেছি পৰিমাণে সুদ গ্ৰাহকৰ লৈ লাভ বঢ়াই আছে। কিন্তু সাধাৰণ মানুহৰ ধন বিনিয়োগ কৰি কোনো ধৰণৰ লাভৰ মুখ দেখা নাই বেংকসমূহে। এই সম্পৰ্কত প্ৰাক্তন বিষয়াগৰাকীয়ে কয়,
Where is my interest rate? Why this title and what is this book about? The book is also saying that unlocking banking for the people. The banking system plays a very important role in the development of this country. It contributes to the largest share of GDP in the country. There was a time the depositors were getting very good interest rate. I remember when I worked in Northeast in Nagaland during the 80s till 1990. Those days the interest rate was very attractive. 12%, 14%, even we have given fixed deposit interest of 16%. And for the senior citizen, it used to be 1% more. And the senior citizens constitute 30% of the deposit in the banking industry. So they deserve a better return. But after the reforms of the 90s, entire thing got changed. The Reserve Bank stopped controlling the interest rates. Instead, it allowed freedom to the banks. And banks have reduced the interest rate. For savings bank, which was 5%, today is 2%. For fixed deposits, the deposits which were paid 14%, 15% interest rate, Now it is 6 to 6.5%. Indian depositors are small depositors. 95% of the accounts are by individuals and small accounts, and that constitutes the major deposit in the banking industry. Do they not deserve a better interest rate? Because if you take inflation into account, the return is almost nil or say 1%. So why banks are doing this? This is the big question. It is to help the richest people in this country. The common man who are the depositors are deprived of interest which they deserve. If you see the RBI data, there are crores and crores of money given at very cheap rate. As per the latest RBI data, 442 people who have availed more than 100 crores as loan, they are paying less than 5%. Similarly, people are paying less than 6%, 7%, and 10,886 people are paying less than 10% interest for their loans. And all these loans are not housing loans or education loans or farmers' agriculture loan. It's not small loans. All these loans are above 100 crores. So to subsidize the rich, you are depriving the depositors of the interest which they are due. This is a serious thing which the All India Bank Officers Confederation, Center for Financial Accountability are together looking at, and they are planning for a serious action program.
ইয়াৰ উপৰিও দেশৰ বৰ্তমান পৰিস্থিতি সম্পৰ্কে উল্লেখ কৰি বিষয়াগৰাকী কেইবাটাও গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ মন্তব্য কৰে।
Today the common man, the farmers, traders, artisans, small shopkeepers, where are they going for getting their loan? They are forced to go to the non-banking financial companies. They are modern day money lenders. They take loan from the banking system with 10%, 11% interest rate, and they charge 24% to 36% from these people. It's a real loot, and it is affecting the common man very badly, because banking system is not providing adequate credit. They are concentrating more on larger credit. The small credit has come down drastically, which was once the small credit was 98% of the total loans. Today it has come down to almost 70%. So people are forced to go to these non-banking financial companies. This is a very big area which the banks have to look at. Now the banks have an agreement called co-lending agreement with non-banking financial companies like Adani Capital, who will take loan from the bank and give it to the customer. They will be sourcing the application. They become kind of a brokers and they earn money out of it. These loans may not come back at all. What is their presence? Their presence is very weak in the interiors. So that way, this co-lending model is one model which the All India Bank Officers Confederation is opposed to, and this co-lending model has to be stopped. The other demands in this book, and which will be the demand of the people's movement, is to recruit massively, stop outsourcing of jobs in the bank, because once you outsource, the reservation policy is gone. We are seeing that in the private sector there is growth in number of employees. In public sector it is getting reduced. So there is a need for massive recruitment in the banking system, which will help the bank and also it will help the public. Today public do not know why they are not getting good service. It is mainly because of this policy of this government. In the name of digitalization, they have reduced the staff strength. Digitalization is there in the private sector also, private banks also. But they are recruiting more people, they are expanding. But the public sector banks are not doing that. This is one of the major demands in this campaign called the People's Movement for Fair Interest Rate. Thank you.
উল্লেখ্য যে উত্তৰ পূবত এসময়ত শিক্ষকতা কৰিছিল ডি.টি. ফেক্সৱে। তাৰ পিছত বেংকৰ চাকৰি কৰি বৰ্তমান চেন্নাই আৰু কেৰেলাত সামাজিক কামত জড়িত হৈ থকা ট্ৰেড ইউনিয়নৰ নেতা ফ্ৰেংকোৰ উত্তৰ পূৰ্বাঞ্চলৰ প্ৰতি আছে বিশেষ আকৰ্ষণ। তেওঁ বহুদিন পিছত অসমলৈ আহি দেখা পৰিৱৰ্তন সম্পৰ্কে মনোভাৱ প্ৰকাশ কৰে এইদৰে।
The present situation politically, economically in this country after the election results of June 4th is changing. We thought that the government will learn a lesson, Modi will learn a lesson from the votes, the voting patterns. The people have rejected communal agenda. People are supporting secularism. People are wanting employment. People are wanting a better economy to support the larger majority in the country. But the way the cabinet has been reconstituted with the same old people, I feel that this government has not learned a lesson. The government has to change its policies. The number of things happening in the country after the election results, attack on the Muslim community, the 3 laws which are being forced on the people, which are depriving people of their basic rights, the economic situation, these are issues which have to be addressed very carefully, and the government has not started doing it. Luckily, the opposition is also quite strong and they are remaining united. They are raising their voices strongly and that should make the change. And if that does not happen, the trade union movement, the women's movement, the student movement, the youth movement, they all have to come together, have agitation like the farmers' agitation and force this government to change its policies to bring down the inequality which is increasing. Thank you.
News Desk report, The Opinion.